everybody. This is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you from late at night from downtown Manila. And very interesting today, guys. I've got my first ever person. She's not German, but she's in Germany. You know, we're always in the UK, America, and Australia. But here we are. Today we're in Germany. And a lovely lady who's got a lot of knowledge to share with you people. Her name is Andrea Hunt. And Andrea's got a company called EFT Empowerment Coach. And she's going to tell you about that in a moment. It's her current role. And the company's name is Living Deliberately Today, EFT Empowerment Coaching. She's been in the industry for some 4 odd years and a long time before that as well with her knowledge. And she's an EFT Empowerment Coach who helps people overcome their fears, anxiety, and self-doubt to step outside their comfort zone. And many of you need that, guys. Just have a go, guys. If you don't have a go, no one's going to do it for you, right? Become the best version of themselves through life-changing transformational coaching and EFT tapping. Andrea guides clients to release emotional blocks, reduce stress, and improve their emotional health. And health is very, very important, especially emotional health, guys. She's a published co-author of Overcoming Self-Sabotage, a book on Amazon at the present moment, so have a look for it, guys. Personal motto, I like it. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? I'll add to that, guys. No one's coming to save you. Trust me when I tell you that. I'm 77, I do know. No one has come to save you, so save yourself, you know. Work it out, get some help, get a mentor like Andrea here, but save yourself. Now, what else are we going to cut here? Nothing much else here to put, but you're going to get it all here. Even got a free gift for you guys. How cool is that? So here we go. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage, Andrea. How are you, Andrea?
I'm great. So nice to see you, Jeff. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Tell us about your journey and what inspired you to pursue this wonderful pursuit of yours.
So I've always been interested in personal growth, and I am somebody who I was not born confident. And like many of us, what I realized is some people have a light switch they can just turn on. Maybe they're born confident. And for me, it was not like that. And so for everything that I've done, especially in terms of even having my own business, confidence has been like a muscle, something that like you have to train, you have to build up, you have to keep going, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. Because, you wouldn't go to the gym and do one sit up and expect a 6-pack, right? It just doesn't work like that. Sadly, doesn't. So what I learned is that, with EFT tapping and transformational coaching, you can make your plan and your strategy, and then you can push yourself outside of your comfort zone bit by bit. And of course, what people normally are afraid of, and what happens is, your nervous system can try to stop you. So you plan everything out, you get ready to go, like on a podcast or do the thing or whatever, and suddenly you get gripped with fear, anxiety, and all of the self-doubt starts to come out because now you're outside of your comfort zone. And this is where EFT is so important, because you can help to release the fears, release the negative emotions, so that you can calm your nervous system and be able to do the thing. And then rinse, lather, repeat.
Yeah, awesome. What's been the most challenging part of your work, and how do you overcome that?
I think for me, coming out of the 9 to 5 and into being like an entrepreneur, that's really difficult. Because
you work 16 hours so you don't have to work 8 for someone else.
And that's the truth, right? And then I think it's just all of the different hats that you have to learn how to wear. Things like the accounting and the taxes and doing your marketing and letting people know about what you do. I think it's, people tell you how difficult it is as an entrepreneur, but you don't really get it until you do it yourself. And you realize you're like, wow, I didn't realize I had to learn that. And then you have to see where you come up short.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Tell us an important moment in your career that, if you go back 4 or 5 years ago, where was that aha moment where you changed direction? Where was that?
So, I got laid off during COVID. So basically, I had always been into personal growth. I probably wouldn't have gotten out of my comfort zone and quit my job at the time because, it was 2020. Everything was just kind of crazy at the time. Yeah. And I got laid off along with a lot of people who were in the probationary period at my job. So, of course, after the original, the ego bash, having to pick yourself off and just be like, oh, great. Now, during a pandemic, I get laid off. Wonderful, I started kind of being like, okay, what's the opportunity in this? Where can I actually go from here? And so we were heading into the second lockdown here in Germany. And I was like, okay, everybody's, watching Netflix and eating pizza. What could I do right now that I could really, work on my career? So I decided to get my coaching certification. And the interesting thing about that is that this was something that I had been really passionate about in terms of always motivating people. Like, I'm not necessarily like the person leading the group. I'm the motivator. Like, you can do it, helping people to see their greatness. And
cheer squad.
I like the cheerleader, exactly. And the thing is that when EFT tapping, it's always been something that I had done for myself the last 10 years.
Sure.
When I realized that I could use that in my coaching, that's when everything really shifted for me, because I hadn't even understood fully how it could be used in coaching, because I was using it for stress release, before an interview or something like that, doing the tapping points or whatever to kind of calm myself down, go to sleep. But I didn't really understand the power of how you could use it for confidence. And in that moment that I was, building this career up for myself, there were a million moments where I was absolutely terrified. I did not feel like, confident and good about everything and empowered at all. And so for me, in learning how to use EFT tapping for confidence, for releasing self-doubt, for, getting out of the imposter syndrome kind of stuck trap that we can fall into, this is where I really learned of how I can be helping people.
Lovely. In your opinion, what are your key qualities and skills that you believe have contributed to your amazing success along the way? Andrea?
I think I'm very empathetic. I think I'm a motivator. And one of the things that I enjoy is helping people to see the power in themselves that they might not be able to locate at the time. Because it's definitely something that people have done for me. And I know how important that is in the right moment, and it can really make or break you.
Sometimes you've got to help people unpack it, don't you? And let them, and remind them the past is the past. Let it go.
Absolutely.
The past is the past. Learn from it, and move on. And then move on. Be in the moment today, right? How do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field? What's your secret there?
I would say most of the things that I end up doing are because of morning routines and night routines. Like just starting your morning right with intention, making sure that, you start with gratitude, making your intentions for the day. And then at the end of the day, being able to kind of reflect back and be like, okay, how did it go? What am I grateful for? And what do I need to do next?
Yes.
Yeah, always, I guess, kind of searching for how you can be better.
Lovely. Tell us about a recent project or achievement you're particularly proud of. Apart from your book, what else are you particularly proud about?
I think what I'm really excited about is doing more in-person things, because obviously, a lot of the beginning of this career was during lockdown.
Sure.
And so the last few years I've been, doing a lot of webinars and stuff, but I'm going to be doing things more in Munich that are, in-person group work, really being able to make those connections in person. And then, of course, also, I do retreats, and I had a workshop in Albania and one in Spain, and I'm going to be doing those things more in the future as well.
Yeah, I see on your marketing side, you're very good too. You've got a Facebook group there, I see. Because as you know, Facebook groups are all empowering. They're fantastic. A lot of people don't realize that. They're so darn good if you use them right. What advice would you give a younger version of yourself who wanted to follow in your footsteps? A 20-year-old who wanted to come along and try and achieve what you're doing? What would you tell them?
So I think the reason that my motto is, if not you, then who, and if not now, then when, is because there's a lot of things that I talked myself out of, or the things that I didn't go for, and opportunities that I feel like passed me by. And then you look around the world and you realize how many incompetent people are out there doing things that you're like, I could do that. Look at politicians. And you're like, you know what? If that person is up there, doing that, why should I not be able to do the things that I want to do?
Correct.
And nobody's going to come and give you the opportunity. If you don't make it for yourself and create it, you're not going to have it. And I wish that had been more clear to me in my 20s. I think in your 20s, you're worried about what people think about you. You're worried about failing. You're worried about how you look.
Never too late.
Exactly. You're never too late, And I think so many of...
It's never too late.
Right.
I'm learning every day. Think about it. You learn something every day. That's 365 new things in a year. Fantastic.
Exactly.
Looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future? Andrew, you're doing so much already.
So I want to especially travel around Europe doing different workshops. I love empowering women. I have, definitely male clients as well, but I feel like if I could be able to go around to different places in Europe and have these workshops and empower, there are so many people who can benefit from just believing in themselves a bit more.
Yeah.
And like you said, like the 365 days, it's like, the concept of Kaizen, like 1% better, like every day. And if you look at the end of the year, what you could possibly do if you just believed in yourself a little bit more every day, it's life-changing.
Thought came to me the other day about little babies, right? They're born, and all of a sudden they give you a thing called the alphabet. And look at us now, all these years,
Yep.
and we put all that together. I mean, how the hell does that happen? How do we put all these
Yeah.
little letters together and come up with these big words, and everyone in the world knows the meaning? How does that all work? It's crazy stuff.
I know.
It makes my mind boggle when I think of it like that.
Right.
You've been awesome. Tell us, how can our listeners and people watching this amazing podcast, how can people reach out and find out more about your wonderful services?
Sure. Well, first of all, my website is www.dreahunt.com. So DreaHunt. Yep. And then, of course, if you just type in Andrea Hunt Living Deliberately Today, I'm on Facebook, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Twitter or X. And so I constantly have webinars like on a monthly basis for empowerment and being able to get outside of your comfort zone. But they could just follow me and please, join one of my workshops. I start at a very low price, around €7, just to kind of get people to come in and try and see how it works.
Sure, absolutely.
Exactly.
Love it. You've been an awesome guest. Yeah. Guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, just like Andrea, and find out things like this, please reach out, like and subscribe to this channel. And don't forget, guys, a TV commercial is going to set you back about $30,000. People might make a cup of coffee or a hamburger or something while the show's on. You've got 10 radio spots in your city going to set you back $3,000 to $5,000. And guess what? They may play them at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. Come on, 15 minutes of fame like Andrea's done, and you'll be across every social media platform. You've got a whole list here, but you'll be across all the social media platforms and potentially put you in front of thousands of people, but more importantly, with all your social media links. And this will drop in the next 48 hours, guys. Look out for it, because Andrea's been kind enough to give us a special treat here, www.dreamhunt.com, and she's got a free gift on EFT Tapping book. So, guys, it'll all be the link for that will be in the chat. And you've been an awesome guest, Andrea. And before we wrap it up, tell us a fun fact about yourself that most people don't know.
I used to live in China for 7 years of my 30s.
How many years were you in China for?
Nearly 7, actually. So I was in Beijing and I was in Zhejiang in the first year. So that shaped a lot of my adult persona, I think.
I love it. Love that. You're a real adventurer. You're a gypsy, aren't you? Right? You're like me. You're probably never going to go home. But I've been to China quite a bit, actually, pre-COVID, and I love Shanghai. They call it the Paris of Asia.
Yes.
You can't live everywhere. I'm happy where I am, but boy, if I had a second choice, I'd be living in Shanghai. It's bloody awesome, guys. Like everybody knows, you got to have money, guys. So get out there and keep hustling. Once again, thanks very much for being on the show, Andrea.
Thank you so much.